Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, make sure to check out my affiliate links down in the description below to get discounts on different car mods and products. Alright, let's get into the review. Hello and welcome. Today we are inside of a 2019 Hyundai Kona Electric. This is a front-wheel drive model. I would like to thank Hyundai of Newport in Newport, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this vehicle. I'll also be driving it, so make sure to check out that driving video coming out soon on the channel. This is a 2019 Hyundai Kona and it remains basically unchanged through the 2022 model year. This has about 258 miles of range to it. This is a 2-row SUV with seating for 5. This weighs in at about 4,700 pounds and currently stickers with 7,000 miles for about $33,000. This is a battery electric vehicle powered by a 64 kilowatt-hour battery pack that sits below the vehicle. This produces 201 horsepower and 291 pound-feet of torque. Averaged out, this gets 132 miles per gallon city, 108 highway, and 120 MPGe combined. This rides on some 17-inch alloy wheels, and these are on 215 wide tires. It does also have disc brakes on all 4 wheels. For comparison, this does have a 64 kilowatt-hour battery pack, whereas the Tesla Model 3 can be equipped with a 50, 62, or 75 kilowatt-hour battery. Another example is the Jaguar I-Pace, which gets 234 miles range, which is less than this, with a much larger 90 kilowatt-hour battery pack. And the Audi e-tron, with a really large battery pack of 95 kilowatt-hours, achieving only 200 miles range. So with only 64 kilowatt-hours and a 258-mile range, this is a very efficient SUV for its size, and challenges Tesla effectively. As for safety features, this does have blind spot monitoring, lane departure alert with lane keep assist, forward collision alert with braking and avoidance, rear cross traffic alert, and it does have automatic high beams. This has 6.2 inches of ground clearance, a front independent suspension, and a front anti-roll bar. This does also have some functional vents up front to help cool the battery pack. This does have power mirrors, and those are heated, with turn signal indicators located on those. This does have LED lights front and rear, and the DRLs in the front, they make it look pretty aggressive. I like the front fascia. This does also come with a single panel sunroof. The charge port is located in the front of this vehicle, and you can plug it in right there to either a 12-volt typical voltage outlet, or you can use a larger battery charger. As for the exterior, this is black on black, and it does have this nice touch of some satin-like finish in a light gray running around the fenders of the vehicle. It's not just plastic, it's actually painted to look like matte and satin. It looks nice. And overall, I think this has some futuristic smooth shaping to a lot of the vehicle, especially up front. And let's hop outside and have a look. So you do have your blue drive badge right here, and that signifies you are in a Hyundai vehicle with their hybrid and electric system. Here are your wheels. Those are going to be real metal alloy, and they look interesting. Some people love the wheels, some hate them. I think they fit effectively. Here is that satin finish I was talking about, so this is real paint. I think it looks interesting and gives it some nice character. Up front here is going to be your charge port, so you will open it like so, like an easy open fuel cap. Right here you could use a typical, you could use a charge port right there, or the other larger port right there. And if you put the cap back in like so, then you can close it like so. Very easy. Up here you get your DRLs. They look pretty good. You get some LED fog lights as well, and once again the functional vents. Those are cool. Down here you get that satin paint again with a nice little air entry. The car is almost silent, but you can hear just a little bit of whirring going on with some cooling fans in there. Once again, the same on this side. In the front, I think it looks pretty aggressive for a front fascia, and I think it fits the futuristic characteristics very well. Once again, you do get some pretty plain mirror caps right here, but it has a turn indicator, so that is good. You have your sunroof up top. Over on the side, it is pretty basic. It has a few accent lines, and it does have a nice little chrome strip running there. However, one thing I wonder with this vehicle is getting down below you can actually see that's the battery pack right there. That hangs very low, so that could actually possibly scrape some things. So that's the only thing I worry about with having a battery down on the floor. In the rear, you do get your electric badge, a little rear spoiler, and a nice little chrome strip right there. You do get your turn indicators down low in here, and the LED front, and the LED lights once again. You do have a nice little plastic piece here, and that I think it gives some nice sharpness to this rather rounded vehicle. And let's hop in the front. You do have proximity sensors right there. And for your interior door panel, it is a pretty minimal interior. Nothing too aggressive anywhere. It does have a nice little chrome look cover here for your speaker system. That is not a named speaker system though. You get your typical power controls, and you get some padding right through here, and all the way through here is also padded. As for your driver's seat, you get a power driver's seat with two-way lumbar support. And the seat itself, it has some decent bolstering, feels pretty good, has some piping and some contrast stitching as well, and some nice perforated leather. And these are both heated seats up in the front. And hopping inside, this vehicle is on. It just runs silently, of course. So over here on the left, you get one blank button, but you get your charging controls, traction off, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring. You also get your gauge brightness control and a climate vent. And they're rather interesting climate vents. They are rounded off, so you push them up and down like so, and then you can control the side controls right there. As for your steering wheel, it is a leather wrapped wheel, feels very nice in hand, and no contrast stitching, but it's a rather nice looking wheel. Has some buttons for cruise control, of course, your seat controls, and your volume voice controls on the left. And you do get some, not shift paddles, but some battery function paddles back here. In your gauge cluster, if you turn it off, you get that interesting noise. I like it. Nice greeting. And it is fully digital. And turning the car back on, another nice greeting entry sound. And it'll show you ready to drive. On the right, you do get your battery voltage meter. On the left, you get your charge or power meter, so it depends on if the vehicle is using power or recharging itself. Also, in the center, you get your digital speedo and your, not fuel range, but your electric driving range. You also do get your mileage type of measurement over there, and an outside temp, and what gear you're in. For your turn stocks, they're just nice and basic. Nothing out of the ordinary there. As for most of the interior, it is a lot of hard plastic in here running throughout, so I wish they had used a bit more padding, but for the armrest, it is nicely padded, so that is okay. And in the center, it looks a little similar, the color scheme, with the silver and black to a Palisade or one of the other Hyundai SUVs. Doesn't look too out of the ordinary. Up here for your infotainment, it is a touchscreen in here. It is Hyundai's typical system. It looks pretty good. And it is very bright and easy to see. It does have some hard buttons, which is nice. It does have some hard buttons, which is nice for your basic functions, as well as a hard volume knob and hard scroll wheel. You get your caution lights there, as well as two climate vents. You do get dual zone auto climate control in here, which is nice. You also do get storage right here, as well as a wireless charging pad. And you do get USB Type A and aux port. For your shifter, it is a button shifter, so if you pop it into reverse with a button like so, you can see your rear camera. It does have moving tracking lines. Unfortunately, no 360 camera, and just not the best quality camera, but that's not Hyundai specific, just lots of vehicles use very low quality cameras right now. And you do get an electronic parking brake, so you can activate that like so, pull up like a window switch, and turn it back off. You do get two cup holders right here, and below that you do get your heated seats for the front two seats. You also get drive modes in here, including Sport, Eco, and Normal. Two blank buttons between that and an auto hold feature, which is nice. As for your armrest, you will open it like so, and it is a very, very wide and deep storage area. I like that. On the right, you get your glove box, of course. That is slightly damped, and it does its job, holds everything you need. And then beneath your center console, right inside of here, you actually do get some more storage and a 12 volt and a second USB Type A in there. Very nice. And let's have a look in the rear seat. In the rear, the door panel resembles the front seat very, very closely. this seat is where I was. I'm about 6 feet tall with pretty long legs, and I have enough room back here. However, my knees are starting to push against the seat. If I spread out a little bit, I can fit back here comfortably, but it is just not the roomiest. It's not meant to be. This is a smaller SUV anyway. No center climate vents in the rear, and no charging port of any kind. I wish they had at least put a 9-volt or a USB Type A, or even a Type C port. Wish they had that, because this is a pretty nice SUV, at least with all the seating, the leather trim, and overall it's pretty nice in here, so I wish they had included some of those amenities. And for the center, you can pull it down, get a pretty nice little basic cup holder setup right there. And for the seats back here themselves, they are pretty comfortable. They have minimal bolstering, of course, but yeah, they're pretty comfortable to be in. And visibility back here is pretty good. You also have some nice little cutouts in the C-pillar to help you with rear visibility. And let's check out the cargo area. And for your cargo area, here is your key fob, very similar to the Veloster N I recently reviewed. And if you hold like so, it would open the trunk. But since I'm right here, we will just use the normal opener. It is not a powered liftgate though, just nice hydraulics. In the rear, it has a privacy shade, and you also do get some nice cutouts for storage in there. Minimal wheel well intrusion, which is nice. And down below these mats right here, you can lift like so, and you get some storage. And once more, and you do not get a spare tire right there, but you get an inflator kit and a safety kit. And to close the liftgate, it is pretty light, so that's good. Very easy to close. And let's hop in the front and discuss my final thoughts. Alright, so for my final thoughts on this 2019 Hyundai Kona Electric Limited front-wheel drive, I think it's an interesting package. It really, this is my first electric vehicle that I've been in or reviewed or driven coming up soon, so I think it's a pretty complete vehicle. It really doesn't feel different, of course, in the interior versus really any other Hyundai SUV I've sat in, and it feels pretty nice to be in. Some nice wheel setup, nice ergonomics, nice seating, very comfortable soft leather, and visibility is pretty good. It really doesn't look like a funky vehicle too badly, besides maybe the wheels are a bit out of ordinary, but I wouldn't say they look bad or like how some people hate on these wheels. I wouldn't say it at all. So overall, I think it's a really cool first effort from Hyundai, to one of their first efforts to complete an electric vehicle. And especially in an SUV, I think it's very well done. This could definitely be used as a family SUV, and 258 miles of range is pretty good for a day-to-day vehicle, especially if you don't have a long commute. As for the interior, I think it could have a little bit more contrast, maybe continue some of the silver throughout the dash, but overall, I think it's minimal, and it doesn't look junky or anything. It still looks fine. And the infotainment is typical of most Hyundai products and very easy to use. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this review of a 2019 Hyundai Kona Electric EV. Make sure to check out my POV drive of this vehicle coming up soon. And thank you again to Hyundai of Newport in Newport, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this vehicle. Thank you for watching, and take care.